Hello everybody, this is a piece I've already done earlier this week, and I'm going to pull it apart for you guys and show you exactly what I've done. This will be our final piece, so let's go ahead and start pulling this apart here. Remove all these layers. Alright, oops, I missed one there. There we go. Okay, here we're going to start off with our background. I like to do things in a 4 by 6 inches. You can start out however you want. The next step, I use the Gaussian blur. If you don't know where that is, it's up here in filter and blur. After that, I cut out my girl. I use this tool, the quick selection tool, to cut her out, and we'll use that later as well. And before I do anything else, I duplicated her, and I use some layer styles, which are over here in layers, not images. Usually I do a color overlay. You can see I did here. I pulled from the background color to make her match the background. After that, the background's a little bit too bright around her, so I added a little bit of shadow. You'll see how this fits in here in a minute. Then with our gradient tool right here, I used from the background a light color and a dark color and pulled it downwards. This will pull out the lights. And then I chose some light blues, light color on top, dark color on bottom. And then on the next layer, I did the same thing with dark blue to pull out the color for our image. From here, I use the quick select tool to completely select her, and I use the gradient tool once again. I'm going to color this apple red, so I put in the light colors I want on her. Before I do anything else, I'm going to use a new layer where I edit, fill, and then you'll hit 50% gray, and then you'll want it on soft light. I use 2 different layers of this here, and then I use my dodge and burn tools, which can be found right over here, to add the highlights and shadows where I want them and pull out the ones I no longer wanted, like so. Now that I've got all that done, I'm going to start coloring in the apple and the eyes, all the reds that I took out that I need. So on a new layer, soft light layer, you're going to want to color the apple and the lips. This one I left at 100%, but if you want, you can mess with the opacity a bit and put it where you like it. I also added more red to her eyes using the same technique. And I also added just a little bit more to her cheeks to make them pop. Then I added this layer here, used a soft, very, very soft paintbrush for red, pulled it down to 13%, and then I added the inner glow effect with our layer styles up here again, layer styles, and then you choose inner glow. So after that, I decided wasn't quite happy with how much light was coming off the apple itself, so I added another layer just right around it, using the same inner glow effect. And then, let me open the layer I used. I found a nebula, this nebula right here, and I use this method to copy it. Use the marquee tool and then edit and copy. And then I pasted it over here and put it over the apple. Now the nebula is blue and it's red here now, and how I changed that was I went into images, adjustments, and hue and saturation, and up here you can change the layers to any color you want. Now we're almost done. I forgot to mention one thing. Any of the layers that I used for lighting, except the nebula. Nebula I put on hard light, but the rest of them I went up here and put them all into soft light right here. Now we're going to finish off the background. I got a soft brush over here. I pulled a nebula brush from the internet. I suggest you do the same, or a cloud brush will work really well. Put it on, go up here, make it as large or small as you want. And since it's a nebula, you don't have to do a soft brush. But if you use a regular brush, you would want very little hardness here. And I chose a really light blue that I liked to add some mist in, and then to add a little bit of red to correspond with the apple and our lips and everything, I added another layer of red with the same technique. These two layers I did a linear light over here in your blending options. Normally I do soft light, but it worked really well on this one. So that's it for this piece. Let me know if you guys would like to see any of my other pieces picked apart in video, or if you have any suggestions for other pieces. Thank you.